questions. Prashna, Sawal. Probably without questions, science itself would have not existed, right? Hello and welcome to the Margdarshika series. After a complete 1 month, we are resuming these sessions. Good evening and welcome to the session, guys. My name is Shekhar Suman and I welcome each one of you in this mind-bending session where we are going to discuss critical questions. Okay, critical questions which you should ask as a biotech and pharma professional, life science professional about your career, and probably will try to explore some answers also, right? So quickly in chat, please say a hello, hi, welcome, good evening, and Sat Sri Akal. Can you please confirm in chat if you can hear me and see me too? Let's check. Everybody, please confirm in chat if you can hear me and see me too. All right. Good evening, Gautam. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I hope you all are doing great as well. So this evening, we are going to ask questions, right? What happens when we don't ask questions? That's the first thing we should know as a bioprofessional, which you are, okay? So never think that you are not a bioprofessional. You are already a bioprofessional the day you enrolled into the course, okay? Good evening, Kartika, Priya, Sneha, Archana, and everyone. So the day you enrolled yourself into the course, you are a bioprofessional. Now, if you are a science professional and if you don't ask questions, what happens? Then you're not a science professional, right? Because science is the art of asking questions. Good evening, Amol. I'll answer that question shortly. Anusha, good evening. Kishore, good evening. So we're going to get started shortly. First things first, you have to know how to ask the question, right? Now, if you want to know about cancer biology, so you go to Google and if you type, what should I know about cancer biology? That's a question you can ask. Or what is cancer biology? You can ask. But if you ask what is biology, can you get information about cancer biology? No, you cannot, right? And that's exactly what is happening. If we do not ask the right questions, we will never get the right answers. And sadly, on internet, no one is giving the right answers. Even though you are asking the right questions, nobody is giving you the right answers. Now, why? Why nobody is giving you the right answers? That's also a question to be asked. So let's start with this first critical question, that why nobody is answering critical questions about the biotech and pharma industry, right? So you can put down the comments question in the live chat section. I'll attend to it as I continue with the pace of this session. But today we are going to ask around 4 to 5 critical questions and some sub questions as well. Now, the first question which we are going to ask is, why nobody is telling us anything about biotech industry? You know why? Because the people are on the internet are too much free people. Why they are free? Because they never got into the biotech and pharma sector. Now, if you never got into the biotech and pharma sector, how can you talk about it, right? Of course, you cannot talk about it. So all they will talk about is core subjects like biochemistry, cell biology, just like how a college professor will do, right? But even college professors have a lot of industry experience nowadays, but these people on the internet, they don't have. So, and then there are some people who are in the valley of disappointment because they're not getting jobs, and then they go and comment that there is no jobs. Now, recently I posted a video where we have shown that Biotech Life Sciences is giving 5.5 crore salary. So now some gentleman comes and says, oh, only top 500 people will get this kind of a job, right? Others will not get. Now, that is what success is all about. If everybody starts getting 5.5 crore rupees, then 5.5 crore rupees will lose its value. That's something that gentlemen didn't understand. Success is costly. Okay? So please type in the chat box, everybody, success is costly. Success needs sacrifice. Okay? Success is costly. Success needs sacrifice. Okay, but not sacrifice like you have to give some money or give some sacrifice which is like cutting your hand or something like Eklavya. No, you have to make some small sacrifices here and there to achieve success here. Okay, so I'm going to come to each question. Please put them down in the live chat. while we stay connected to the motto of this session, which is going to be, of course, critical questions. So why everybody is not answering those critical questions, even though you are asking, is because they don't have experience with the biotech industry. Now, Biotechnica is that bridge which gaps industry and academia, industry and all of you. Right, and that is why we interact with a lot of industry experts, and at the same time we interact with a lot of pharma and biotech students also. So we are bridging this gap with Margdarshika series. I'm right here to answer your questions. That's the first thing we have to know. Okay, now the first part of this session is going to be understanding the biotech and life science job market. Okay, so under this, let us understand how fast this particular industry is growing in India as well as US and Europe. Okay, so there are three types of markets in this world. Okay, the first market is the primary market, the second market is the secondary market, and the third is the tertiary market. So in this world there are three types of countries: developed countries, developing countries, and underdeveloped countries, right? So primary, secondary, tertiary. Biotech industry, in fact any industry, you look at the internet industry, right? So all these industries, there's one peculiar thing, right? And that is they all evolved in the developed nations, developed countries. You see at steam engine, where it developed. You see at electricity, you see any technology, it got developed in the developed nations. Why they are developed? Because they have enough money to stop bothering about their survival and existence, and they can focus on innovation. You know, that's a very important insight for everybody. If your survival is not under question, only then you can do innovation. Okay, when survival is not under question, only then you can do innovation. And that is what is happening to most of the students in the biotech sector, because they don't get an immediate job and they start listening to all sorts of unnecessary stuff, that they stop innovating on their career and they start panicking, right? And that is where things start going wrong. So now the first part, the market, the biotech market, the primary market is United States of America. Let's accept this fact. You can't change that. And then comes China. That's another market. So these two countries are competing in the biotech sector. Okay. But who has got a maximum scientists in the biotech sector? That is India. That is all of us. So now China already has a lot of manpower, but America, United States has not got enough manpower. So what they do is they import the researchers from India. That is how you get a lot of, a person who can't speak proper English also is getting a postdoc in US. But the same IT guy will not get, but a BT guy is getting. Why? Because there is so much of demand in the US. So the United States is the primary market. That's the first. Second, India is a secondary market. Now, whatever will happen in the primary market, then it will come to the secondary market, right? So there's a downside, but now the upside. For example, in US, first the landline phone came, then the mobile came, then the touchscreen phone came. But India, directly touchscreen phone, no landline. The villages now don't have a landline, but they have a mobile tower. They're using touchscreen phones. Can you believe that? Right. So what's happening here? The developing nations get advanced technology without even going through that hassle of landline, then phones like wireless phones, and then the touchscreen phones. Instead, they get the advanced technology. So that's a benefit of the secondary market. Okay. Now let's go to the tertiary market. Okay. Now tertiary market is where you can make a lot of money as a bioprofessional. That's something you have to note down now. Okay. Tertiary market is where the money will be made by secondary market. Now, where the primary market people will make money in the secondary market. So what Americans are doing right now, they are developing the technology. Say Medtronic has developed a device called a pacemaker. Now they're selling it in India. Correct. Same way, Illumina has developed some diagnostic tools. They're selling it in India. So they develop the technology there, sell it here. Okay. Now let's look at the same way. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to develop the technology in India. Now selling it in US will be difficult because US already has a lot of advanced companies. So you can sell those technologies in underdeveloped countries. Okay, underdeveloped countries such as Pakistan, such as South Africa, Africa as such, the continent, then various other smaller countries, right? That is where you people will develop technology and sell it. Okay, this is how the world works. This is how any industry works. This is how the biotech industry works. Now, nobody tells you all this because, this all comes from experience, observation, and talking to thousands of biotech and pharma professionals across the spectrum. Okay, I'm talking to people not just from India, I'm talking to people from US. At the same time, I'm talking to people from Japan, Russia, Korea, even Pakistan and South Africa. We have students from Sudan also. Can you believe that? War-torn Ukraine. From there also we have scientists on our platform. So I'm talking to various people from European Union, all these places. And when I'm talking to all these people, this is the understanding I developed and that I'm transferring to you today. Okay. So now let's try to highlight the future demand. Okay, future demand of your profession in India or in the developed nations and the developing nations. Okay, do you follow so far? Everybody please type in chat box. Do you follow? Yes? Okay. Now, let's start the story this way. You, as an individual, if you try to sell your talent, okay, then you can get a job. As an individual, okay, if you try to sell your talent to United States of America, you will get a job. Okay, and that job will have a fixed salary, you'll have a good life. There's no problem with that. Instead, you do research in India, develop some technology, and now you implement that technology whether in India or you implement that in South Africa, African continent or smaller countries. Then you don't need salary, you will make hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay. Now, I know some people will doubt this story. So let me tell you another story. Have you heard of a bike company called as TVS Motors, which sells the Pep Plus scooty in India? You must have heard of it. Have you heard of it? Yes, of course. Now, this particular company, the maximum bikes they are selling is in Africa. Right. So same trend and tradition will follow in India for biotech sector. You will learn from America, you will develop in India, you will sell to smaller countries. You look at Myanmar, right? Myanmar cannot afford to buy weapons, of course, the weapons for the war, from United States of America because it's very costly and Myanmar is a poor country. So what Myanmar does, it buys from India, right? That is how the world works. That's how the capitalist economy works. If you sell your talent, you get salary. If you sell a product or a technology, then you earn billions of dollars, right? But in the rightful way, in a legal way, you should do that. Okay. So no matter where you are and from where you're listening this live stream, whether you are a +2 student, whether you are a bachelor's or a master's or a PhD or postdoc, you all have to know that you can make a lot of money from the biotech sector. Okay, please type in the chat box, I can make a lot of money from the biotech sector. Right now, these insights nobody tells you. These are market insights. Okay, so this is all about the increasing demand of your talent as well as increasing demand of your skill set and technology which you develop. Now let's talk about the people who want to just take a job and settle in life. Now in India right now, on an average per day, there is one biotech company opening. That's what I am observing right now. At least one biotech company is opening per day. And these are not companies which will employ, that's a mistake everybody does. People think that biotech company needs hundreds of employees. Unless they have become a Biocon or a Syngene, they don't need hundreds of employees, they just need 10. They just need 5. Now there is a beautiful company called as Anna Bio, okay, in Bangalore. The founder is my friend and his name is Dr. Mithun Shah. Okay, he's right now looking for a chief business officer and he's looking for a PhD in microbiology with around 10 years of experience in leadership. He's ready to give around 25-30 lakhs annual salary also. So now his company is developing sanitary pads which can be flushed, which just dissolves in water. You don't create sanitary waste. Now, that's a small company creating innovative product, and bigger countries as well as smaller countries are coming in buying from him, and he's making good money, right? But he doesn't need more than 10 or 15 employees. So that is where biotech sector needs a lot of companies, okay? But each company may not employ 10 or more than 10, 15 or 30 or 50 employees also, but each person will get good money. That's something you all should know. So quickly in the chat box, type down. Let me look at some questions now. Okay, we'll have a question session now. Please type down your questions. I'll take a 5 minutes break. Yeah. So now let's look at the questions. The first question is from Amol. I have completed my graduation, undergraduation in microbiology. Should I take MSc in life sciences? No doubt about that. What's stopping you, Amol? Sorry, Amol. What's stopping you? Go for it. So, next question is from Priya. About to complete Masters in Biotechnology, what sorts of job I am eligible to apply? You are eligible to apply for every job which exists in biotech sector depending on your interest. Now, what are the major type of jobs? You have biotech R&D, you have formulation development, QA, QC, education, teaching, academia, various academic research jobs, various government jobs where you are eligible, various school teaching jobs where you are eligible. You are also eligible for various allied biotech jobs like science journalism. So these are the things broadly I can tell you. But if you want specific information, here is something I want to highlight. So because I am also talking on some agenda, I may miss out on some questions. If I miss out on your questions, please email me on this email ID. Most of the time I reply. Sometimes I miss because of my busy schedule, but definitely you'll get a reply. If I miss, you can always send me a reminder that I didn't reply. Okay. So that's about. Okay. Now let's look at the next question. Gautam. Okay. So Gautam has a question. I've completed my MSc Biotechnology degree very recently, so I would like to know how to get response from manager after applying to pharmaceutical industry. Now tell me, Gautam, why a manager who is not looking for you will actually reply to you? Because this particular manager has got his own job target, so he'll never reply to you, okay? Unless you stand out from the crowd and you are the magnet, no iron will get attracted to. So all these employees or managers or hiring recruiters are iron, made up of iron. So if you want to attract iron, what do you want? You have to become a man of magnet, okay? Have some magnetism, okay? All right, so next question, Kishore. Sir, can you state the difference between biotechnologist and pharmacist? There's nothing much difference. Both are one and the same. If the pharmacist decides to pursue a research and development or any kind of job in the biotech sector, he's a biotechnologist. If he is dispensing medicine in a shop, then he's a pharmacist, right? Depends on the profession. If you as a biotechnologist do a diploma in pharmacy, gain the license, and you're dispensing medicine in a pharmacy, then you are a pharmacist. But of course, pharmacists do more biotech R&D than regular biotechnologists. You should know this, okay? All right, so now I'll come back to the agenda which I have, okay? So the first point which we discussed just now is understanding the biotech and life science job market. So we know that per day or on average, one biotech company is opening in India. We know that biotech companies cannot have thousands of employees. There can be some exceptions like Biocon, Syngene, Dr. Reddy's, but those will be some, very big mega corporations, but there are many. In fact, I know more than 475 smaller biotech companies which employ in between 2 people to 100 people, okay, or 1,000 people. And these are also very good companies paying very good salary in crores. But for that to happen, you have to be ready to work in such companies. Okay. Now all those data will be providing the subsequent live streams, because I have to cover other parts also now. Okay. The next critical questions which you have to ask is types of roles and career path in the biotech and life science sector. Okay. Now, what are the types of biotech career path you can have, or the roles you can have, right? Now, two things. The first is, to solve this problem that many students ask me the same question repetitively, what I have done is I have created an artificial intelligence bot. Okay, her name is Jenny, and we will be launching this on our website very, very soon. So what you will be able to do is you will be able to ask questions and fill in all the details about your career aspirations to Jenny, and Jenny will respond to you with the kind of jobs you can get from the biotech and pharmaceutical market. But to answer this question in this live stream now, let me start taking up one by one. Now, you have research and development. Many of the students think that research and development is the only type of job you should be doing as a biotechnologist or a bio professional or a life science professional. That is not right. The truth is, you have multitudes of other jobs and vacancies and availability in the biotech sector. Now, majority of the coaching institutes, I will call them coaching mafia, we are also a part of this coaching industry, but we don't endorse that only CSIRNet is the way to move forward. But many of the coaching institutes, they will say, there is no other way, you have to do your PhD, then only you can progress in your career, which is not correct. You don't need a PhD to progress in your career. In fact, I know many people in the biotech and pharma sector who don't have a PhD, but they're very successful. But they were absorbed early into the industry, into smaller companies. There they worked for 2-3 years, and then they moved to the bigger company. So you should not think that only R&D is the job which is available and only PhD is the way out. No, that's not true. Yeah, to some extent, that is also one path. So one path is, which everybody knows, is, okay, after your master's, you do your PhD from a good institution, and then you can apply for these jobs in biotech and pharma sector. But you should know that many of the PhDs also are unemployable. They are not worth the employment. After doing PhD also, they are unemployed, right? Or get absorbed into the academia, not in the industry. Why? Because, see, robotic job cannot make you a scientist. A scientist has to be an innovator, okay? And you don't need a degree to become an innovator, okay? Can I have this line in the chat box? You don't need a degree to be an innovator, okay? Now, so the first job is R&D, okay? Formulation and development. Now, once the SOPs are built, this is how the product is to be made. So there will be a SOP. You have to get absorbed into the formulation and development. Like you formulate it as per the SOP and produce the end product. So that's formulation and development. Various pharma and biotech companies are there. You can apply there and you can get a job. Third type of major job which you have is you can also get into multiple QA QC jobs. Quality assurance, quality control jobs. Yes, that's one of the ways. Then there are various different type of allied jobs, like managerial jobs, like a lot of which does not require a PhD, but still exists in a biotech company. Now, I'm going to give you an insight about some smaller biotech companies. Why do they don't take freshers, and why do they ask for references? Is because somebody, like previously when the biotech industry started in India, they were readily hiring freshers. Smaller companies were hiring freshers, and they were, but now what these freshers started doing is, after taking all the training in the smaller biotech company, they left the job and took job in a bigger company. So the smaller companies felt cheated. So what they made is an indirect rule that, okay, if anybody wants to apply, I want it through the reference, so that if this person runs away after taking the job and taking the training, at least I can catch hold of the person who referred, right? And next time I will not take from that person. So that is why this kind of phenomena has happened which is a bad tradition actually, but this is how it is working right now. Okay, so that's the bad tradition. Now, Why do they don't take freshers? Because freshers jump jobs or go for higher education. This is what the industry says. Now, how can you solve this problem? You can solve this problem by going through the reference channel and doing proper networking. Okay, so the various types of roles in the biotech and pharma sector exist, but you cannot get in unless you have proven networking skills. So you have to really develop networking skills, right? For example, right now, LinkedIn is one of the best platforms to do networking. You can get in the eyes of various other people. I'll give you an example. So there is a girl who sent me a mail this morning, and she writes to me saying that, sir, I know you're a busy person, so I want to make your life easy. I want to work under you and want to become your virtual assistant. I'll help you in whatever you're doing. Now, basically, that's networking, right? Because that way she will learn, that way it will reduce my burden. But what will happen to her is now she built a relationship with me. Next time when I have a regular job, I may call her for a regular job, because if I know she's a good person, she has worked with me, and I am referring her into my company, so obviously my company will give her a job. So this is how it works. The freshers can easily get job into the biotech and pharma industry if they do networking. Okay, now let's look at some of the questions which are coming in. Okay, the last question which I answered was Kishore. The next is how to take jobs in top companies. To starting, you cannot get a job in a top company. You have to start from the bottom. Start with a smaller company and start climbing. Spend some time there, learn how the thing works, and slowly, once you have experience, then you apply to a bigger company. They'll take you. There is a question, sir, is BSc Bioinformatics a good career decision? What about its salary? If you want to specialize into bioinformatics and do some great work there, then it is a great field. If you just want to do BSc and then switch to another field, then it is not a good option. If you're getting into bioinformatics, you should do BSc, MSc, and PhD there, and then probably you have a chance to grow as a great professional. Okay. Now, next question, which is better, edtech job or a professor job? Okay, edtech job or a professor job? Now, both ways are good. Both are growing in the country. But edtech job is challenging job. Professor job is a stable but static job. It's like living the same day all over again, right? So if you ask me, like, the kind of person I am, I would have taken a edtech job, not a professor job. But if someone who wants a stable, easy life, a professor job is a very good and reputed job. Okay. Next question. Okay, that's Sneha writing, success is costly. That's right. Okay, next question is from Patrick. I'm passionate about biomedical engineering after my biotechnology. Am I eligible? Yes, you are. You know, in biomedical engineering also, you have to develop a lot of biosensor, you have to work on a lot of bio-related stuff. And that is where you're eligible, but you may have to do some biomedical related education, which can be a diploma, postgraduate diploma or something, which will make you eligible there. Okay. Kishore, do you have a plan to give scholarship for students as identifying them and giving them recognition? Yes, we do have, and we are already doing that, Kishore. Okay. Next question, Vikash. Vikash is, okay, recently passed my class 12th with PCB. Good job, Vikash, and congratulations. Amol, if I have taken admission in MSc at a local university, in case after 6 months I get Central University, would I be able to leave that university, local university, after completing MSc first year? No, Amol, that's, I don't think, and that will lead to a wastage of 1 year. So you have to be mindful about that, because you have to start from scratch in the new university. Okay. So that I've answered the question. Okay. Vikash Kanha, could you please tell me which course I have to pursue for graduation, BSc Life Science, Biotechnology, or Biochemistry? Now, it totally depends on your passion, your interest. But if it is graduation, you can just do a broad degree into applied science, which can be BSc Life Science or Biotechnology. You don't need to specialize in biochemistry at this juncture. Maybe in PhD, that time you can do that. Okay. Now, tell us about edtech companies and professor jobs also. Zeel Patel. So, look at this. Edtech companies are basically a fad in this country right now. Okay. So if you want to make a career in edtech company, you have to look for a stable company which exists for at least 10 years, which none of them are. Except Biotechnic, I don't think any of them are. So these companies are a fad. It's like a fake trend. So if you're thinking that if I take a job in an edtech company, it will last forever, it will be highly performance demanding job, and it is not a stable job. Definitely you will grow in your career, and once you have that growth, that definitely takes care of itself, because then you will be in the top notch educators or edtech professors or teachers in the country. But right now majority of the edtech companies are a fad. For example, some company called as Hat Junior, Little Hat Junior, something it was. It just got shut down. Like a lot of people lost their jobs overnight when that company went bust and was acquired. So that happens. Okay. Next question, Nitin. I want to combine biotechnology and artificial intelligence. How can I do that? For that, you need to have either a degree in biotechnology or artificial intelligence, and then you have to learn the other side of it and then merge. So probably you can do a MSc in biotechnology, and then you can do a postgraduate diploma or some kind of diploma or skills which you can self-learn skills on artificial intelligence, and then you can merge them together. So that's how you can do it. Okay, so now we'll come back to the agenda which we are at. The third is, okay, this is second. The third, questions to ask about workplace culture and work-life balance. Now, majority of the students think that R&D job is a very lucrative job, highly paying job, but they forget that R&D job demands you to stand in the lab for hours together, right? Of course, money is there in every profession, but what kind of workplace you're going to work, what kind of culture you're going to build, that's very important, right? So in the meanwhile, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments in the live chat and I will take them up. But for now, you have to know this, that biotech sector mostly requires you to work in some kind of a setup where you're standing whole day, unless you are a bioinformatician working on a software. So that's where you have to know that biotech research jobs are highly demanding. Biotech formulation and development jobs are highly demanding. QA/QC also has shifts in it. So, and of course weekends. So it's not a regular job. It's an innovation job. So it has no fixed hours. Okay. And that is something we all have to learn here. If you are applying or going for a biotech job, it may not be your cup of tea if you are, thinking that I will just sit in front of a laptop and work. That's not how it works here. Okay, you have to get your hands dirty. You have to really get your skin in the game, and that's how it works. Okay, right. So let's look at some more questions now. What is the scope of science journalism? I'm pursuing MSc in microbiology and immunology from University of Hyderabad. Now, Ria, science journalism is a very important component of the science part or science communication. You look at this, Biotechnica itself employs a lot of science journalist kind of people. Economic Times, various international media companies like BBC, CNN, Reuters, and various Indian companies like the Hindustan Times, Times of India, they employ a lot of science journalists. Now, science journalism is not a regular journalism, right? Even Biospectrum India, they employ a lot of science journalists. Now, it's not a regular job, okay, wherein you are going and doing a research and development. You are interpreting science and making it easy to understand for the common man, right? For example, there was some research done on some receptor which stops COVID from happening. But now the general public wants to know how it works. So you take that research from the research paper, understand it, simplify it, write it in simple terms, and put it in front of the audience. Now, when you look for science journalists in companies like Economic Times, what is happening there? You are understanding the science part of it and then reinterpreting it in easy terms, and you're putting in front of investors so that the investors can make interesting and understandable informed decisions for their investments. So that's what science journalism is. It's one of the exciting fields to get in. Not many people are in this right now, so you have a great chance of, even if you get in right now, you'll be in the top 10 people, science journalists in the country. So that's the kind of growth it is having right now. Next question, can I do 2 masters in 2 different subjects from 2 different universities? Why would you do that, Amol? You don't need that. That's overdoing. Okay. You just need one of them, not 2 of them. Okay. Can I open a pharmaceutical company if done MSc biotechnology? Absolutely. You can. Utkarsh, after MSc, which could be a good option? Doing a 2-3 year research project funded by government or directly go for PhD with fellowship? If you ask me, I will suggest that at least 6 months of research project you should do so that you have got a good idea about how a lab works, how teammates work, how things work, and of course you'll get a lot of chance to do networking. In the meanwhile, you keep preparing for CSR, and once you've qualified, you can get in there, right? So let's come back to the agenda now. So we were talking about work-life balance here. Work-life balance and work culture. Regular work culture in any biotech company is highly competitive. You have to know this. It's corporate, it's competitive, and it's exciting and adventurous too. You're doing new things every day. You will be given targets. You have to achieve it. It's a high-pressure job, but that's how most of the corporate jobs always are. But at the same time, you have to know this, that these companies reward you handsomely. So the average salary here for a scientist in these companies will range anywhere between 15 lakhs per annum, goes up to 1.5-2 crores also, depending on the seniority level. In fact, the CSO level, they get, I think last I checked, up to 5 crores also. So that's the highest you can get to. In India, I'm talking about. Now let's come to the 4th part, which is education and training requirements. Okay. In the meanwhile, keep posting your questions, guys, in the chat box. I'll keep answering them. So education and training requirements. Now, one thing we have to know in this that our country, everything is business. Education is a business. The sooner you accept it, better for you. Education is business, and it's not a bad thing. But what is bad is somebody sells you education and doesn't provide you value. Okay, that's something you should think about. So, a college gave you a degree, right? But it gave you a degree for keeping you busy. Keeping you busy for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And then what you get after that is just a paper which says that now you are a BSc. So if I just write and give you are a BSc, you become a BSc? No. It's the skills which you acquired during your BSc that matters. Now, you will not believe that I asked a lot of biotech companies why they don't do campus recruitment. They said there's no point. If we do campus recruitment, they don't have skills. So again, I have to take and hire and I have to train. And after training, this person is leaving the job and going somewhere. So why should I do that? Instead, somebody applies because so many people apply. I will check if they are coming through reference. I will verify the source. If this person guarantees that this person will not leave, then I'll give the job. This kind of mentality is there. This kind of challenges they're facing, right? So that's where it comes. Now coming to, so wherever education industry fails, training industry fills the gap. So there are various training companies in India at this juncture. Same exists in various other parts of the world. But the question is, are these training companies good enough? The answer is a yes and a no. Yes, because they're doing a decent job. Most of the training companies are doing a decent job. But there are many fly-by-night companies which are taking money and vanishing, which is wrong. And that is creating a lot of doubt in the mind of the students. So that should not happen. That is why you should always go via well-reputed, well-known companies whom you know already for years together. So for example, you can say Biotechnica. So you know us for past 5-7 years. You've been seeing us, you are getting our newsletter. So you know that, okay, this is a company, right? So that's where the training requirement comes. Yeah. So any questions so far, please put them down in the comments section. Let me now take up the questions. All right. Last I answered was, okay, a lot of questions has come. So now I'll spend some more time into the questions. So the last question I answered was for Shaheen. Next question after MSc, 2-3 years, I have answered that. Next is Sucheta. She's asking, I've just completed my B Pharma. Congratulations, that's a great degree. I want to pursue my master's in biotechnology. Is this a good option? So you do a 4 years and then you do a 2 years. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's a good option. But as long as you're passionate about biotechnology, otherwise, please don't do it. Okay? Yeah, so Utkarsha's question, I guess I have already answered. So yes, you should do a 6 months of at least training or something. Then you should go for the PhD. Okay. Majority of the students, I'll tell you, are getting rejected in IAC, and this is like a hot news you should know. So our first ranker, okay, CSIR net first ranker thrown out of the lab interview, saying that you're not good enough. Fifth ranker, CSIR net, was not even allowed to give interview in IIC because he could not qualify for the initial interaction. Why was that happening? Because they are just bookworms. Okay, you have to remember this. Don't be a bookworm. You don't run behind the what you call concepts, theoretical knowledge. You have to look for practical knowledge. Okay. Arokia Selvi, I have completed my post-graduation in biotechnology in 2019. After this long gap, what are the ways are there to get job? I'm interested in research field, wet lab techniques. So you start with certification, workshop, internship, and then you have to get to hands-on, and then go into private or public labs, CSR funded labs, temporary SRF, JRF jobs, and in the meanwhile keep doing networking, and then you will land into a permanent position. That's how it starts, Aroki. I hope I was able to answer. So that's the the regular pathway. Start with certification. Whenever you have a career gap, start with certification, then any certification of your choice which you like, then go for attend some workshops, attend some conferences, then go for online internships or offline internships, then go for hands-on, then take up some temporary jobs, temporary projects, get hands-on, do networking, and then get placed. Okay. Anupam, how to do PhD in clinical cancer biology from USA country with GRE and IELTS exam? I saw IELTS and GRE fees is a lot for me. It's a lot of complication to apply and get a chance. Sadly, that's the truth, Anupam. We can't even be born for free, right? So that's how the world works. America is full of capitalists. Okay. America is a country where there are more poor than the rich. Yet still it is one of the most developed countries in this world. More people sleep on the road in United States of America, the percentage of population, than India. But still it's the most developed country because it's a costly country. If you want to get there, you'll have to figure out. That's how it is. Nobody can fund you unless you fund yourself. So you'll have to fund your GRE, TOEFL, or IELTS, write the exams. After that, if you have good score, maybe the universities will give you scholarship. But remember, whatever scholarship they'll give, the system there is designed in such a way that if they give you $2,000, and the entire thing will get spent, and you will still be living on pennies. So that's how the system works there. Okay. Now, Shushmita Sinha, I've completed MSc Biotechnology in 2021, but could not get job in relevant field. I have done some internship. I want to do job in wet lab. Could you please suggest me what to do? Thanks in advance. Okay, TIA. Right, so Shushmita, let's start with, you did your MSc in Biotechnology in 2021. Okay, could not get a job in relevant field. So what is the field which you are looking for? Let me know that in the chat section. And you've done some internship again. What internship you've done? Is it in the relevant field or some other field? And if you want a job in the wet lab, start with the formula which I gave you. Start with a small certification, then workshop, conference, then start with some hands-on training, paid or unpaid, doesn't matter. Then start with your internships, then go for temporary projects in these labs, government labs, and then move forward towards a wet lab job. Okay, in the middle of this, if you want, you can always do PhD. If you don't want, there's no need of PhD. Please, guys, let me make this very clear. If you don't want a PhD, you don't need to do a PhD. Okay, just don't do a PhD because everybody else is saying that. Okay. Next question, D Nishi. Can an MSc Biotech work in IT sector? They are doing that, but then there's no growth of that. IT sector is something which you all should know how it works. Like in biotech sector, freshers don't get job easily. Of course they get, but in IT sector, freshers get job easily. By the time they become 10 years or 20 years experience, they're fired. So you lose your job in the middle of your life, not the beginning of your life. So you make a lot of money in the first 20 years, and after that you are thrown out because some recession comes, and you can check the recession cycle. 2002 it came, 2009, 2008 and 9 it came, now 2023 it is there. Every 10, 12, 15 years recession comes and IT industry kills people like anything. Okay, so if you want to get into the IT industry, remember this: next time recession comes, they're going to throw you out first because you're not from the IT, you're from BT, and you're working there, right? Next. Lucky Rui. I am MSc Biochemistry Immunology, pass out 2018. Please inform in biotechnology industry. So you have to be subscribed to Biotechnica's newsletter and YouTube channel. That will help you a lot. Okay. Next, Nurul Jasim. I'm passionate to do entrepreneurship in biotechnology. I'm planning to enroll in BSc honors. Is that right? Yes, it is right. And while you are enrolled in your BSc, figure out your startup idea or work on your startup idea. That's something you all should know. If you want to start a company, the best time to start your company is while you're still in college. Because if you're not doing it, somebody else is doing it. Okay? Right. Next question, Karthika Sanmugam. I'm finally a biotech student. I wish to pursue masters in genetics. Is that a good option? Yes, it is a good option unless you want to make a career in genetics. So yeah. It is a good option, no doubt about that. Nairayana B, 12th pass out as I'm an MPC student. I have no experience in biology. What can I do to gain knowledge? Okay, I'm not sure what MPC means. Can someone help me out? What is MPC? Is it maths, physics, chemistry? That's what you mean? Okay, that's what it should mean, right? So if you don't have a background of biology, I don't think you can get into biotech sector unless you want to go through the IT route. Okay, so you need to check on that, Narayana. Next question, I have a doubt regarding the letter of recommendation. I know a case where two persons applied for the job. One had LOR and other has skills. Well, you need both. You need the skills and you need LOR, and you need LOR from the right relevant person. Okay, reference. So it's not that if one person has skills and another person has LOR, the HR will give opportunity to both. Preference will always be given to someone who has the skills. LOR is just endorsement of the skill, not the skill. Okay, as a professional, mostly they choose LOR over skills. No, they don't. If anybody is doing that, they're bekoof fools. Anupam, without GRE and IELTS, how to do PhD in country like USA in a good university? You can't do that. You have to have a GRE. Okay, Vikas Khanna, could you please also suggest me some important skills for a student during graduation with life sciences? See, I've made a lot of videos on this. You can check our YouTube channel. You need soft skills, you need hard skills, you need core skills, you need a lot of lab skills, data analytics skills, bioinformatics skills. All of this comes together to make you as a complete person. If you have anything lacking, suppose you have everything and you're not able to communicate, they'll not hire you. If you have excellent everything, but you're not a team worker, they'll not hire you. Or even if they hire, they'll fire you. So these are things you should know. Okay, I've done a special video on this. You can just check out our YouTube channel. Just write Biotechnica, skills required, important skills for biotech students or professionals, you'll get it. Okay. Right. Sucheta, if I do my master's in biotechnology abroad, will I get jobs in India? Why not? You can. That's a fake news on internet. Like, okay, if you've done a 1 year MS in US or UK, you will not get a job here. You can always get as long as you have the skills. Okay. In fact, that UK exposure helps. Himachali aspirant. Okay, I'm a final semester MSc Zoology. Is there any job which I can prepare for CSANET? Is there any job along which I can? Okay, so along which you are saying, Okay, this is an interesting take wherein you are preparing for a competitive exam. On the side, you can take up a job. Personally speaking, I will not suggest, because when your attention diverts, because CSI and it is a tough exam, attention diverts, job will have its own demands. Okay. However, you can always take up some R&D research internship, some temporary projects in some government lab and stuff like that while you are preparing for CSINet. But remember that jobs have their own demands. Jobs are unpredictable. Jobs can call you for hours longer than you expected, and even weekends, right? So that is where I don't suggest. Now, coming to the answer, if you still want to do it, you have multiple, teaching jobs, science journalism, sales and marketing, temporary projects in various labs. These are things you can do. Okay. Next, Sneha. Is it compulsory to CLR, CSI, and to become a professor? Yes. It is important to clear. Okay, CLR means clear. Yes, it is important to clear CSIRNet, and of course, you should do a PhD also if you want to become a professor, because government is notorious to change rules. You got a job. Okay, this has happened to a very near and dear person of mine. So he or she got a job after the due process, working for 20 years. After 20 years, the government comes and says, no, your appointment was wrong. We are cancelling it. So now you have to give us all the money back and we are cancelling your job. Right? So government can do that. Government can do anything. So you have to remember this. If you are getting into the clutches of government, you better be ready with the right qualification, because tomorrow if they change the job, somebody changes, like the government changes, Modi changes to somebody, you don't know, and things will change. So don't take risk there. Okay. All right. The questions are not ending and I'm still stuck with, I still have to take up the last part, which is skills and competencies for success in the biotech sector. Let me take this and then I'll take up your questions, guys. Hold on. So skills and competencies. So I've already answered. You have the hard skills, the soft skills, the core skills, the bioinformatics and software skills, and this huge list. Now, what I can do is, we will write an article and publish it. In fact, it's already there on Biotechnica website. However, let me just enumerate. You need to have the communication skills, teamwork skills, innovation skills, because innovation is also a skill which you have to develop. Patience, all of these are soft skills. Coming to some hard skills like being a professional, being able to spend hours together in the lab, all these hard skills. Then you have the core skills of the lab, like how to handle an instrument, how to do HPLC, how to do spectrophotometer, how to do flow cytometer, how to do LCMS, all of this. Okay, so how to do RT-PCR, how to do animal cell culture. All of this is the regular hardcore skills of the lab. Then comes the data analytic skills, like, okay, the data you got from the instrument, now you analyze it and come to a conclusion, which is very important, because without that, it's of no use. Okay. And then you have the bioinformatics skills, because now everything is going to be connected to bioinformatics, like how government connected everything to Aadhaar. Same way, bioinformatics is the Aadhaar of biotech industry. So everything will be connected to Aadhaar. So bioinformatics softwares and tools. So it's very important to know and learn bioinformatics. Okay, we do have an internship which will start probably in July now, not this month. It's called Bioinformatics Global Tools and Techniques Internship. Keep an eye whenever it comes. If you grab that opportunity, that will be a great way to learn bioinformatics. We have Farhan Zamir sir who takes care of that. Okay, so this is what I wanted to discuss in today's session. Now quickly I'll take up some questions. I have 6 more minutes, right? So I'll be a little fast so that I can cover as many people as possible. Okay, all of this is done. I think Sneha, I have done. Okay, preparing for UPSC CSC during PhD in chemistry, is this good? That's a very bad idea, Ganesh. Don't do it. Okay, you won't be able to either focus on PhD. See, it's like two boats moving in both different direction and you are standing on it. What will happen? you'll fall, right? See, UPSC is a different story. PhD is a different story. Even if you qualify UPSC, when you'll go for the interview, they will reject you, listening that you're doing PhD, and along with that, you've done BC, UPSC. Another thing, the selection in UPSC is 0.09%. So 11 lakh people write it, and only 1,000 people get selected, right? It's huge. It's very bad. Instead, if you look at CSR, like 1 lakh people write, 1,000 people are getting selected. But there 11 times more people are writing, and only 1,000 people are getting selected, right? So it's a bad idea. Don't do it. Okay. Nurul, how about Woxen University for my bachelor's in biotechnology? I've never heard of that, Nurul. So you better check with someone else who knows about it. Okay, JP, reputed private universities giving job opportunities for only from IIT and NIT candidates. The people did their PhD from government universities not getting job in reputed universities. Why? Universities or college? Okay. See, there's a lot of bureaucracy which is there in the Indian academia. So if you just want to, keep one hand on the other and wait for opportunity to arrive to you, it will never arrive. I know a person, he is right now a placement officer in CMR. The day I spoke to him, I really wanted him to be in Biotechnica because he was so amazing. But sadly, I could not afford his salary, so I never hired him. But he was such a magnet. Okay, so you have to become a magnet. People will love to work with you. People will love to hire you. And in that case, you don't need to depend on the Indian academia to get a job. I hope that answers your question. Bioinformatics in abroad is good. Definitely, Kusuri. There's no doubt about it. Good after graduation. Yes, it's good. Himachali. Where can I get an internship? I'm in 4th semester of MSc Zoology. The various companies we post on Biotechnica, you can check that out. I think just today we posted an internship, but it got filled now. But yeah, every day we post 1 or 2 internships. You can check that out. Shiva, I'm going to do BTech in biotechnology. What is the opportunity of career I can get with good salary? Shiva, it all depends on what's going to be a passion, what is going to be your area of interest, and what kind of, probably you can drop me a mail later on and I can take this up in detail with you in person. Okay? Because I cannot reply to this question in 3 minutes now. Would I be able to give CSIR and ICMR gate in first year of MSc? Yes, you can. For experience sake, you can do that. Shreyan, MSc Biotechnology, Botany 2021, suggest me some job. Shreyan, you have to look for applied jobs. Okay, we posted recently an infographic on Biotechnica Telegram channel where we have around 5 to 6 places, 5 to 6 applied biotechnology areas where you can get jobs. Please check our Telegram channel, it is there. Okay. Anupam, you just said US is a good place to learn more and developing countries are for applying knowledge, gain money. So if I don't have enough money initially, how to go to USA to learn? Well, that's what you have to figure out, Anupam, right? If you don't have the money, you can earn the money, right? You can see when I started Biotechnica and I was also self-funding my education, I had no money. So I worked in odd jobs. I sold shoes. I worked in McDonald's. I worked in various part-time jobs. You have to do odd jobs, earn money, and then use it for the right thing. If you don't have money, see, you are born poor, not a mistake. If you die poor, that's your mistake. Think about that. Mahalakshmi, I want to do research in cancer biology, completed my MSc Biotech in November 2020. After a long gap, how do I get started? You can start with your PhD preparation and you can get in there. If PhD is not an option, you can always go for the sequence which I said, start with cancer biology certification, attend some workshops, and then you can do a lot of, attend some conferences, interact with speakers, do networking, work in some internship, learn hands-on, and then get some temporary project positions in government labs, gain experience that will help you get started, and then you can apply into a bigger lab for the cancer biology position. Okay. Yeah, Shankar, I figured out later that was maths, physics, and chemistry. But you can't apply with an MPC into biology as far as I know, but maybe things have changed. Pinke Varnale. I completed my MSc Biochemistry 2022 and even completing my postgraduate diploma in clinical research. I can't find any job fresher even with certification. Which company is you refer me? Okay. So here is what is happening. You did a MSc Biochemistry and then you are looking for a clinical research, right? So both are different things. If you've done MSc Biochemistry, there will be a different type of job you can get in. If you do a clinical research, there will be a different type of job you can get in. So you have what I can suggest you is you can drop me a mail and I'll deal this in detail because I'm left with now only 1 minute, and I'll take just the last question now. I'm doing BTech biotechnology. What can I do to earn a good package? Pino, you have to start with looking at what is your passion and whether the market has a demand for that passion. And when both are overlapping, that's how you can earn a lot of money. For example, if you do a research on CNS, that is central nervous system, and that is a demand of Parkinson's and Alzheimer in the future, you got a problem, you got a solution. So basically, you can make a lot of money when somebody else's problem is your money. That's how the economy works. That's how the biotech industry works. Whenever in life or whenever after degree you want to earn money, you have to know this, that somebody's problem is your money. Okay, so some disease is your money, somebody's problem is going to be your solution. So you have to think about it and then overlap the problems of the world. So let's say Parkinson's or Alzheimer or aging, that's a problem which 8 billion people face. So if you are able to solve it, you can earn a lot of money. But if you can't, then you can't earn, right? So that's how the magnetism develops in you, right? So that was the last question for the day. Now, for the people whose questions I have missed, I apologize because the time is less, but don't worry. Here is my email ID. You can drop me a mail. Within 48 hours, you should expect a reply. If in case I forget to reply because I get thousands of email, you can just send me a reminder on the same thread and I'll reply. So that's one thing. The second thing is very, very soon we are going to launch a career prediction tool, which will be trained by artificial intelligence. I have personally trained the AI. So you will be able to ask questions and she will reply with what is a job, what kind of jobs you can get, what kind of next steps you should have. So basically it will give you the next steps on what you should be doing. So that will help all the +2 students, bachelors, masters, PhDs, postdoc, as well as senior scientists also, what kind of job or what kind of things they can do in their career to grow in the field. So that we have developed. Very soon we're going to launch. Please don't forget to check that out. And for that to happen, here are a few things you should know. So yeah, the first thing is this is the Telegram group link, t.me/Biotecnika. Of course, Biotecnika is the largest platform on internet for biosciences now. You can be subscribed to us on our YouTube channel as well as in our Telegram, and we send a lot of updates over there. Right, and this is my email ID. Please drop me a mail if you have any questions. That's all for now. Thank you so much for joining in and asking questions. I'll see you soon in the next one. Till then, please take care of yourself. Stop thinking that there's no scope. Start creating scope for yourself, because biotech industry demands your innovation. Biotech industry is not an industry which will just take you because of a degree. You will have to innovate your way into the industry. But once you are in, there's nothing looking back. So I wish you all the best. Be in touch, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Till then, good night. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Well, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.